Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, sometimes it's what you hear that makes the difference. Law Techie in the Chamber of Sensory Deprivation. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Sometimes it's what you hear that makes the difference. A few years ago, I was a senior tech with a popular personal computer company. As a senior tech, I dealt with a lot of TDD and escalation calls. One day, my team lead comes over and puts my phone on AUX. Meaning, when this call finishes, I won't be getting another one. After I complete my call, he comes over to my desk. "Okay, I'm sending you a call from an irate customer." No shock there. They have replaced his mouse twice and his PC once. He has just finished his third reload, and it's still messed up, the team lead explains. "What's the actual issue?" I ask. "His cursor is jumping all over the screen when he uses his mouse," the two explains. So I take the call. First off, standard apologies. Then we go into DM and look for splats. He's having a hard time negotiating cause the cursor keeps jumping around. No splits. Current driver versions. Reboot into safe mode. Same issues. Reboot with mouse out and plug in after. No change. Delete mouse drivers, disconnect mouse and reboot. Plug in mouse and drivers, load. Cursor still jumping all over the screen. At this point, I'm at a loss. As I'm trying to think what to do next, I hear a click, click, click from the customer's end. "What's that sound?" I ask. "Sorry, just tapping my pen on my desk," he replies. I can barely suppress the grin on my face. I feel like laughing out loud. "Do you have a glass desk?" I ask, although I already know the answer. "Yes," he replies with frustration in his voice. "Take a piece of printer paper and set your mouse on top of it," I advise. "Okay, now what?" he asks. I can tell he is losing his patience. "Try using your mouse." A moment later. "Oh my God, you fixed my computer. You're a miracle worker." I explained that he had an optical mouse, and the beam was being scattered by the glass desktop. That's why his cursor was jumping around. All he had to do was put it on something not glass for it to work properly. Law Techie in the Chamber of Sensory Deprivation. I'm still working for a mid-market consulting firm, traveling around the US on short notice. After a few annoying trips, I've done the passive-aggressive method of job searching, switching my LinkedIn status to looking. In the meantime, I've been asked to do an assessment of a vendor to a health insurer. Usually these start with some spreadsheets pushed back and forth and a status call or two. Instead, we get a firm we will let you visit where you can ask questions, but we're not filling out any paperwork. For reasons that may become apparent, I'll call the vendor Skiff Health. Skiff does some arcane work in utilization and metrics of healthcare outcomes, which usually means gathering lots of data and occasionally denying valid claims. Great. This is going to be all kinds of fun. Skiff is a subsidiary of a large, we sell a lot of different things to the federal government holding company, which I'll call Booz Martin. Both Skiff and Booz Martin are in the DC metro area, so at least I don't have to fly out there. I can have some fun in DC while I'm at it. Stuart, Skiff's security officer on this assessment, is a pain to schedule. They'll schedule, then cancel the night before due to important concerns. I have to threaten with, "If we don't get this done by the end of the quarter, your contract with Big S health insurer will go away." Of course, all this email is through Skiff's kludgy secure email portal that 403's forbidden half the time. I'm already hating these people. One day, I get a call from a recruiter I don't hate. They have a great opportunity that requires my exact skill set. They assure me that they mean it this time, but can't release the employer until I pass a preliminary background check. Fine. I want out of my current gig, so I send an up-to-date resume and agree to the usual credit, employment, and criminal check. Not unusual, and I soon forget about it. Eventually the planets align 2 days before the end of the quarter, and I'm going to visit Skiff. I get a bunch of meeting invites and I see that a bunch of people, both Skiff and Booz Martin, will be there. Interesting. I don't yet understand how involved Booz Martin is in the IT operations of Skiff. The day before I'm supposed to go down, I get a phone call from someone at Booz Martin. They need more information for my background check before the process can continue. I'm annoyed, since this has already been forwarded from my company, but I don't want any reason for Skiff to delay the process. I answer their requests, including a list of all lawsuits and criminal cases I've been involved in. That's odd, but I have a conflicts spreadsheet for when I was doing litigation, so I send it to them. I ride my motorcycle down the night before and stay in my favorite consultant kennel, a mid-range chain hotel. About 15 minutes before I'm supposed to leave to go to Skiff's office, I get an email from Stuart. It curtly lists the rules for me to follow at Skiff. All electronic devices will have to be left in my car. I am to wear my badge at all times and must be escorted within the facility. I must sign an NDA before I can ask any questions. This is going to be stupid. I usually take notes on my laptop, so I print out the questionnaire and requirements documents in the hotel's business center. I leave my luggage, laptop and phone with the hotel desk clerk before I ride to Skiff HQ in a wealthy DC suburb. Skiff's offices are nice in a hypermodern office building. Looks like they're setting up some kind of job fair/networking event in the lobby. The front desk is staffed by polite armed guards. Once they've validated my identity, and that I'm here to see someone, I get photographed and am presented with a picture ID on a lanyard, then escorted to another waiting room. About half an hour after we're supposed to start, Stuart shows up and escorts me to a small conference room. The conference room has no windows and is featureless other than a 4-person round table and a speakerphone. There's an odd hiss which I figure has to be a white noise generator. Stuart, what's your clearance? Me, you mean like secret, top secret? Stuart, pointing to himself, TS/SCI. Me, congrats. I don't have one. Stuart, that's a problem. I can't be as forthcoming then. Me, I don't understand. I work for a civilian health insurer. We're dealing with PHI, not top secret. Stuart, like I said, I can't talk about some things. Stuart dials into a phone bridge, and about 10 people from Booz and Skiff say hello. After a quick explanation of what I'm doing, I start asking basic questions about how Skiff does things. Even straightforward questions like what development stack are you running, or how do you select which patches to apply, and how long before you apply the patch result in one of 4 responses from Stuart. 5 minutes of exacting clarifying questions around the definition of server and patch. We have an internal standard for this where this is specified, but I can only describe it. We comply with NIST 800 to 171, which we printed out for you. After about 30 minutes of this, I'm starting to have an out-of-body experience. I'm imagining myself this dialogue on some old black and white television like it's a 70s documentary of the Milgram experiment. We've gone on long enough on this. I'll try a different topic and see where we go. Oddly enough, non-technical questions aren't as painful. Areas such as background checks, doing role-based access control, and removing terminated employees are there. The answers are straightforward and pleasantly delivered, but they're all coming from the crew on the speakerphone. Stuart glares at me from across the table. I'm hoping that if I figure out a way to segue back into technical questions, I might get somewhere, since I have everybody else talking and some rapport has formed with the rest of his coworkers. Me, I have some questions about system hardening. Stuart, you do you? Me, I want to make sure our data is protected each step of the way. Stuart, this is a stupid question. Our DC is in the blue network. Do you know what that means? Me, you're hosting it in a Blue Cross/Blue Shield data center? Stuart, it means it's protected, dumbass. Me, alright. Do those systems talk to systems outside the data center? Stuart, of course. You're wasting our time. Me, okay. I'll try not to waste your time. Your systems are in a very nice data center. I get that. It's like a bank vault. They accept communications from the outside world, so under certain conditions, that big heavy bank vault door opens. I'd like to know when it opens and what else is there to protect our stuff. Stuart, yelling like I said, it's protected. Me, I understand. I'm going to call the project sponsor and see what they want to do. I want to thank you all for your time. I start walking out. Stuart is following me. I get to the elevator first. In the elevator, Stuart glares at me. I'm furious as well. The elevator door opens, I return my lanyard and walk away from Stuart and two armed guards. As I'm walking out, I see the networking/career fair has picked up a few people with booze and skiff gift bags. A few people have already dumped out some of the swag on spare tables. I pick up a few pens and one USB drive with a skiff logo. I ride back to the hotel and pick up my laptop and phone. There are voicemails from the project sponsor and one number I don't recognize. I call the project sponsor first. Project sponsor, how's it going at Skiff? Me, not well. They're stonewalling our technical questions. We can either send another person to finish the assessment or we can lean on them. I don't think sending me back is the best approach. Project sponsor, are you sure? Me, pretty much. Project sponsor, I'll call their CISO and see what I can shake loose. Me, I'm going to eat a big heavy lunch and try to not get stuck in beltway traffic. My phone rings while I'm halfway through a bowl of pho. I answer because I'm stupid. Unknown caller, hello, is this Law Techie? Me, it is. Unknown caller, this is Vern, the CISO at Skiff. I'm sorry to be cryptic. Me, damn, that was fast. Unknown caller, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Me, I just want to apologize for any ill will. Unknown caller, I don't think I understand. Me neither. I'll let you start. Unknown caller, I apologize for being cryptic. I'm relatively here. I need someone who understands the legal, compliance and technical roles as well as be, well, diplomatic. Me, and you think that's me? What have you heard? Unknown caller, recruiter speaks very highly of you. Me, that's nice to hear. What is your pain point? Unknown caller, we're moving up the market with our product, and we're getting sales resistance for security and compliance issues. Our security team is very talented, but they're not. Me, good with people? Unknown caller, exactly. Me, I see. I'd love to discuss, but I'm a little pressed for time. Can we schedule some time to talk later in the week? Unknown caller, I'd like to move quickly. I'm looking for someone to jump in and work on tasks already started. This may be a replacement sort of move. Me, I see. I can make some time tomorrow. After pleasantries, we hang up. This just got interesting. To be continued.